It feels like one day you're playing a game of chess and the next someone's flipped the board over and declared the new game is Jenga. That's what's happening with US immigration laws in 2025. The rules have been changing so fast, it's giving everyone whiplash. The biggest change is a process called expedited removal. Think of it as deportation on speed dial. Before, if you were picked up by immigration, you'd usually get a court date, a chance to explain your situation, to tell your story. Now, for many, that process is gone. The government can deport people who have been here for years, even decades, without ever letting them see a judge. It's like getting a red card from a referee who didn't even watch the play. This isn't just some abstract policy change written in a dusty old book. It's affecting real people, right now. Take someone like Mirtako Tupul, a mother from Guatemala who's been in the US for nearly 30 years. 30 years! She has 3 kids who are American citizens. She's built a life here. But under these new rules, she's facing deportation from Arizona without a hearing. This isn't a one-off case. Millions of people, including many from Caribbean nations like Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, who have put down deep roots in America, are suddenly living with the fear that their entire lives could be uprooted overnight, all without the chance to plead their case. And it's not just the federal government making these moves. The states have decided to get in on the action too. In the first half of this year alone, 37 different states passed over 100 new immigration laws. It's like a competition nobody wanted to enter. Many of these laws force local police officers to work with federal immigration agents, a program known as 287G. This means a simple traffic stop for a broken tail light could suddenly turn into an interrogation about your immigration status. For a Trinidadian family driving to the grocery store in Florida or a Haitian student heading to class in Texas, the stakes of a routine interaction have been raised to a terrifying new level. This patchwork of state and federal laws has created a confusing and dangerous landscape. It's a minefield where the rules can change simply by crossing a state line. This aggressive approach is creating chaos and fear. Imagine trying to live your life, go to work, raise your kids, when you know that any minor mistake could lead to detention and deportation. It's a constant state of high alert. The message being sent is clear and unwelcoming, and for communities that have contributed so much to the fabric of America, it's a painful and frightening reality to face every single day. The game has changed, and the players are finding themselves on very unsteady ground. So what does this actually look like on a Tuesday afternoon? It looks like a cloud of anxiety hanging over everyday activities. For Caribbean immigrants, whether they are documented or not, simple things are no longer simple. Driving to work, for example, is now a source of major stress. With local police in many states deputized as immigration agents, a routine traffic stop is no longer just about a ticket. It can become a gateway to deportation. A Jamaican father in Georgia pulled over for rolling through a stop sign might now face questions that have nothing to do with his driving and everything to do with where he was born. This fear makes people want to stay in the shadows, to avoid driving, to avoid calling the police even when they are victims of a crime. Then there's the whole process of trying to follow the rules, like renewing a visa. It used to be that if you had a student or work visa and your record was clean, you could often renew it through a simple Dropbox system. No need for a big formal interview. Well, that's gone now. As of this September, most people will need an in-person interview for their visa renewals. This might not sound like a big deal, but it is. It means a student from Barbados studying in New York has to find the time and money to travel for an interview, facing massive delays that could jeopardize their education. It's like the government has added a bunch of unnecessary side quests to a mission that was already difficult. These policy changes are creating a ripple effect of hardship. Think about the families who are being torn apart. Reports are coming out about parents creating emergency plans for their US-born children just in case they get detained. They are writing down who will pick up the kids from school, who will have power of attorney, who will take care of them if mom or dad suddenly disappears. This is the reality for a Haitian mother in Miami or a Dominican family in New York. They are forced to prepare for the worst-case scenario, a conversation no parent should ever have to have with their child. The emotional toll of this constant uncertainty is immeasurable, turning homes that should be safe havens into centers of crisis planning. And let's not forget the detention centers. In places like Florida, a new camp has been set up in the Everglades, a place critics are calling Alligator Alcatraz. The conditions are reportedly inhumane, with flood risks and little to no access to lawyers. People are being held there and then deported quickly, many of them from Caribbean and Latin American countries. This isn't just about enforcing laws, it's about the human cost of that enforcement. It's about stripping away dignity and due process, creating a system where people are treated as numbers, to be processed rather than human beings with families, histories and rights. Daily life has become a tightrope walk over a pit of uncertainty. For generations, there's been one clear, shining rule in America. If you are born on US soil, you are a US citizen. It's right there in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. This principle, known as birthright citizenship, has been a beacon of hope for immigrant families. It meant that even if the parents faced an uncertain future, their children would have the security of being American. They would belong. But now, even this fundamental promise is under threat. The administration has been making moves to issue an executive order that could end automatic citizenship for children born to parents who are undocumented or here on temporary visas. It's like trying to change the rules of a soccer game in the 90th minute. While federal courts have blocked this move for now, the fact that it's even being discussed sends a shockwave of fear through immigrant communities. For a couple from Trinidad living in Brooklyn, their US-born daughter is their anchor. She's an American. She goes to an American school, salutes the American flag, and dreams American dreams. The idea that her citizenship could be questioned or even revoked is terrifying. It creates a possible future where these children could be left stateless, not fully belonging to the US, but not belonging to their parents' home country either. This uncertainty places an incredible burden on families, forcing them to worry about their children's basic identity and their access to rights and services. This debate is not just a legal argument, it's a deeply emotional one. It strikes at the heart of what it means to be a family and what it means to be American. The fear is that children could be punished for the circumstances of their parents' arrival. Imagine a child born in Florida to Haitian parents. They grow up speaking English, going to public school, and considering themselves American in every way. If birthright citizenship were to end, that child could suddenly face immense hurdles. They might struggle to get a passport, apply for college, or even get a driver's license. It creates a two-tiered system where some children born in the US have fewer rights than others, based solely on who their parents are. The very possibility of this change is already causing damage. It deepens the sense of alienation and fear within Caribbean and other immigrant communities. It tells them that even their children born and raised here may never be seen as truly belonging. This isn't just about paperwork, it's about identity and security. Families are now watching the courts, holding their breath, hoping that this foundational pillar of American society remains standing. The question of what will happen to our children is a heavy one, and right now the answer is shrouded in a fog of political uncertainty, leaving millions of families in a painful state of limbo. In the face of all this fear and uncertainty, it's easy to feel powerless. But it is more important than ever for families to know their rights and find support. The first, most crucial step is to seek out reliable legal advice. This is not the time for notarios or informal consultants who may not be qualified. Families need to connect with reputable immigration lawyers or non-profit organizations that specialize in immigration law. Groups like the American Immigration Lawyers Association or the Catholic Legal Immigration Network, Inc. have directories of trusted professionals. Getting a real legal consultation can help a family understand their specific situation and what options they might have. It's like having a map when you're lost in the woods. Beyond legal help, community is a powerful lifeline. In cities across the country, Caribbean community organizations are stepping up. They are creating networks to share information, provide emotional support, and pool resources. These groups are organizing Know Your Rights workshops, teaching people what to do if ICE agents come to their door. Hint, you don't have to open it without a warrant signed by a judge. They are also creating emergency funds to help families who have had a breadwinner detained. Finding your local Haitian American Community Center or Jamaican Cultural Association can be a source of both practical help and the comfort of knowing you are not alone in this fight. It's also crucial for families to be prepared. This means having a plan. As difficult as it is, parents should gather all important documents, birth certificates for children, passports, marriage certificates, medical records, and keep them in a safe, accessible place. They should have the contact information for an immigration lawyer, memorized or stored somewhere safe. And as mentioned before, they should arrange a temporary guardianship plan for their US citizen children. This isn't giving up, it's being strategic. It's ensuring that if the worst happens, the children are protected and the family has a clear plan of action. Preparation can provide a small sense of control in a situation that feels overwhelmingly chaotic. Finally, for those who are citizens and want to help, your voice matters. Supporting immigrant advocacy groups, volunteering your time, and contacting your elected officials to oppose these harsh policies can make a difference. The story of US immigration is being rewritten right now, and it's a story that affects everyone. For Caribbean families and their allies, the path forward is challenging, but it's one that must be walked with courage, knowledge, and community solidarity. The storm is here, but by holding on to these lifelines, families can find the strength to navigate it together.